So, for the listeners, I've talked about Biocybernaut a lot and how it has deeply affected me as a person, as a wife, my overall happiness. I just feel lighter. I just completed Alpha 2 just a couple weeks ago. I've experienced profound healing through it. And if you would have told me this years ago, I would have said nonsense. Like, there's no way that this is real. Um, but I'm a walking example. Can you give a brief description as to what you do at Biocybernaut and the technology that you have a patent on?
There are actually multiple patents that cover both the technology and the methodology. We have method patents because it turns out that the amazing results that we get at Biocybernaut are due to what might call three pillars. Let me have something to put the pillars on. Okay, one pillar is the patented ergonomic technology. This includes electronic circuits and computer code to run the circuits. The second pillar is the also patented optimized training protocols. For example, we do 7 consecutive day trainings. You couldn't get anywhere near the results if you came once a week for 7 weeks. Mass practice is more powerful here. And the third pillar is the transformational perspective of the trainer. Uh, this is a type of work that you really can't optimize doing it alone. And part of the reason for this is the ego, which has a vested interest in you not becoming more conscious, because the more conscious you become, the less control the ego has of you. And for any control freak, to lose any aspect of its control over that which or that whom it is controlling is something pretty close to a disaster for the control freak. And so the transformation perspective of the trainer is essential. At the end of each session in the chamber, the trainees, we call them, who are in the training, doing the training, gather in a room with canopied beds where they can sit or lie as they give their report. When an astronaut or a biocybernauts comes back from a mission, they don't go out for pizza or take a jacuzzi. They immediately go into a debriefing so that all the subtle details of the cool things that they experienced get to come out. And that way they're transferred from short-term memory, where ego would quickly make them fade. They're transferred into long-term memory. And there are witnesses to what happened. So the ego has a much harder time of getting people to forget the amazing breakthroughs, the amazing experiences that they've had. Mm-hmm. And so we have 3 pillars: the patented ergonomic technology, hardware and software, the also patented optimized training protocols, and then the transformational perspective of the trainer, which is an oral transmission. It can't be communicated in a writing or in a video. The trainer candidate actually needs to be with me and go through some trainings and pick up, and then it activates their intuition. I've recently introduced you to one of our trainers and had complimented him on how initially when he was first in training with me, and we were in the debriefing in the canopy room, he would have what I called zingers, which would be one-liners, which would go right to the heart of whatever the resistance was that the trainee was dealing with. And so this is a unique skill and a gift. And it is something that is awakened in someone and transmitted in an oral transmission and oral tradition. So that's kind of why the Biocybernaut training is unique. I mean, things that are patented, nobody else can use or do, or maybe even know the details about. Mm-hmm. And so the results range across the entire spectrum from dysfunctional to hyperfunctional. People can come in largely dysfunctional and in a week be functioning high-end normal. If people come in normal in a week, they can go on into hyperfunction. And so the central, of the roughly 7,000 people who've come to do this training, some form of it, there's only one thing that I've found that's common in their motivation. and that is they're all interested in change.
Mhm.
And so some people want change to get away from bad things, bad thoughts, bad ideas, bad emotions. And others want to acquire or expand good things like creativity, intelligence, motivation, positive thinking, and success in every realm of endeavor in which humans quest for improvement and success. And it's all available by changing the brainwaves. There are so many areas of improvement that, not so much now, but in the past, people would come to me and they would say, Biocybernaut seems like snake oil because you say it benefits people in so many different ways.
Mhm.
How can one thing have benefits across the whole spectrum of people's lives? And I say, well, it does. And it does benefit people across the whole spectrum of everything they do and experience in their life. But it does it by really doing only one thing. The Biocybernaut training improves central nervous system function. Improves central nervous system function. And once that improves, then anything that people use their brains and minds for will show improvement. So you find the source of excellence and happiness, and you teach people how to make more of that, and benefits abound in
So with
every
the
area of a person's life.
so with the benefits, how long do they last, and do you recommend maintenance um, to keep those, like your creativity engaged or your IQ and your EQ at that new elevated level, or does it tend to be permanent?
Uh, well, the answer is yes, yes, and yes. I do recommend that people do additional trainings.